We are starting my boy Scien's roots. And I am putting the guide away since we no longer need that. Because first playthrough, we always go in blind. Or well, half blinds, because we want to get to the roots, right? Blind enough to make sure I actually get on the roots. So let me see if there's any specific things I need to do to get on these roots. All right, thank you for visiting. I'm reading your name as Rosalie, but it's not. It's Rosa V. Well, you have a good night. And thank you for coming by and for following. Enjoy having you here. I'm excited to see you again. You have a good night. Bye-bye. All right. So let me check. Did I ever make a save file on the place where you can choose the route? I don't think I did. All right, let me do a little looky. Let's just go from the most recent load file, and I think we should technically be able to get it. To get on this route from here. If not, we'll just do it from scratch and just do a lot of fast forwarding. Okay, so gonna use the magic button. It's a flick of the toggle, and we can jump. But I find Scien so attractive. Mathis is my baby, and Scien is my husband. What? Okay. I guess that was dead end. All right, let me... So I could've... I mean, I guess I could just go from the beginning and just like zip, 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 zip through. Oh, because duh, because this is the most, that's the... zip through. Slow garden. And flip. Yes. Is it gonna work? Or is it gonna jump us back to the home screen? Maybe what I needed to do was just fast forward. Though. Well, if we do need to go from the beginning, it shouldn't take us too long, so. Which I guess we do. Alright, we just do that. That's easier than trying to go through file after file, hoping and praying that's... yes, same name, Cerez. Huh? Act 2? Yes? I don't know if I did the right thing. Alright. Okay, good. Alright. Okay. So let's zip through this until we get to the beginning of Scien's roots. So we're supposed to pick understood.
Hi. お願いします。
So just gonna zip through. No, but they really threw me for a loop with the whole Camille thing. Let's just watch it. We'll just watch it. We'll just sit back and watch it. So I wonder what's going to happen on this route.
追いかけっこだと鬼は
Alright, so we will think more about it. Alright, next is going to be the scene where we help out the prostitute from the asshole guards. Which, like, seriously, the royal guards are useless. They are absolutely useless. Right. And we are supposed to not say anything at all.
そんなの誰が決めるの？仮に俺だとして、なければ提案してないよ。
I did hear from somewhere that Scien's route is decently lore heavy, I think, is what I heard. Which I actually don't mind. I do love lore. I love lore and making theories and whatnot. But I do think I heard that. Ask about the murders.
こちらは犯人。この私の方、そこに。
I'm still unnerved that we found him at the beach. Not gonna lie.
つまりブロー、いや。しかしここまで彼。
冗談にしても不謹慎です。
他殺か事故死かも不明な。
We have to choose. It can't be helped. We're gonna pick up her diary. Once again, thank God for this skip scene button. I actually didn't know that there was one until someone on Twitter mentioned it. I just assumed that you had to do the usual like fast forward thing. But no, you just flip this. All right, so we are going to agree again. Thank you very much for a question mark. I'm trying to like theorize what his bad route is gonna be. Is he gonna like? I feel like one of his bad ends is gonna be he's gonna like experiment on us or something. I feel like that's gonna be one of them. That seems accurate. I mean, if he must, I suppose I'll allow it. Oh gosh. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. There. Alright, yes, food supply. Almost there. Really, this took like what, 3-5 minutes? And I am going to make a little save file here. Right, and we are going to go out into the garden. And I'm gonna do the skip button again. And theoretically, it should take me to the choices menu. But if it takes me to the main screen menu, then I'll try this again and I'll just fast forward. Because it might be like I don't know, a technical thing. It's possible that was it all along. Oh, but it wasn't. Okay. Yay. Yes. All right, Scien, here we come, baby. Yes, let's go. We're going to see
それは見たこともない不思議な衣をまとう旅人だった。
There was a traveler wearing exotic clothes.
彼に出会った男は渇望する。人々を救うための技術を、力を。
The man who met him pleaded for the power and technology to save the people.
旅人は後悔した。正しき命のあり方など教えるべきではなかったのだと。
The traveler regretted it later, thinking that he shouldn't have taught the man the true way of life.
旅人は男を恐れ、ひたすらに逃げる。
The traveler ran in fear.
どうか、私が授けたこの書で悪魔を生み出す前に、自らの過ちに気づいてくれ。
I ask that you realize you have gone astray before you create demons using the book I gave you.
でなければ、いつか、
Or else, one day,
君たちの力、人間の魂を持たぬ悪魔が生まれてしまうだろう。
from your very soul, you will bear a demon without a human soul. Like literally or metaphorically. Hit gear on? We going into VR? Oh, okay. Extracting current memories from frontal lobe. Initiating backup system. Success. Initiating clone body culturing using existing systematic cells. Constructing heart for memory installation. Defense system added to hearts. Initiating installation of backup data to brain. Success. Difference from original confirmed at 0%. Initiating clone sequence.
そうか。では、この俺は用済みだな。
Oh, he has different versions of him. Okay. Does that mean we get multiple scenes? Why have one when you can have two? I see. Then this version of me is obsolete.
だが念のために確認はしておこう。処分してもいいな？シアン・ブロフィワーズ。
Then again, I should confirm just in case. I can discard you, right? Scien Brofice?
ああ、好きにしろ。俺もとっととこの劣化した肉体を放棄したい。
Yeah, suit yourself. I want to get rid of this deteriorating body too. Very well then. Alright, so he killed himself. This is interesting already. So I already have a theory. What if Scien is actually the original? I mean, he claims it was his grandfather that was the one that got the information from the Wanderer and started this whole thing. But what if it was actually him? What if the whole time he's just been moving bodies, creating clones of himself and moving into those? He's not grandpa, he's great grandpa. My former body's consent. I killed it after my experiments, wiping away the blood that splattered in the process. In a matter of seconds, I scanned through the information transferred to my new body.
人格、知識、記憶、肉体の状態、いずれもオリジナルから変化なし。
Personality, knowledge, memories, physical condition. No different from the original. It was Scien Brofice, without a doubt. The coding in my artificial brain confirmed that I wasn't a fake, but the original. That's sad. My heartbeat sounded irregular. Or rather, my artificially created heart was beating with a different rhythm than what was listed in my specifications.
やはりメモリーに持ち越せる感情の容量はこの程度か。
Seems I can't transfer any additional emotions as part of my memory.
可能なら余計な感情をすべて削ぎ落としたかったが、それではただの肉塊人形になるからな。
I would have preferred to do away with all emotions, but that would just turn me into a flesh puppet. Yeah, that wouldn't be ideal. Well, the results were still successful. I wasn't too interested in emotions since I wasn't an emotional person to begin with. Most importantly, it was a profound success.
これで23年と1秒の生存。
Still alive at 23 years and 1 second. I had gone past 23 years of age. Ah, so that's what he's testing. It was proof that it was possible to escape the foolish curse of death.
いざ迎えるとあっけないものだな。
Well, this is anticlimactic. The people laminated for so long that they must someday succumb to the curse. Out of boredom, I decided to take over my grandfather and father's research, but it wasn't difficult at all. I was able to complete their research and put it into practical applications within a few months. This boy's smart! This boy a genius. Like he literally did all this just because he was bored, and within a few months, what his parents and grandfather were working on for years. Just he figured it all out within a few months. Excelled in the research of it. Just easy stuff. I couldn't imagine them devoting their whole lives to figuring out something so simple.
何が救いだ、つまらんな。
Salvation, my ass.
これは実質ただの延命処置だろう。
It's just a way of extending life, that's all. Indeed. I had merely survived my own experiments.
これでは本当の意味で人間を生かしたことにはならない。
This isn't the true answer to restoring life to the human body.
すなわち死からの逃避。俺は断じて勝利などしていない。
This is just a means of escape from death. I haven't won at all because of this. This was boring, and I needed more. My newly created brain was telling me that I could attain greater heights. Which was why.
バカバカしい。死神の呪いなどあるものか。
So you know so far. Absolutely stupid. There's no such thing as the curse of death.
今やこの世を滑るのは神などではなく人間の英知であり、すべての不可解には理由がある。
No god rules this world, and only human wisdom prevail, which can explain reason behind the unreasonable. So in order to prove that,
余計な感情などすべて切り捨て、呪いとやらに挑んでやる。
I will get rid of my useless emotions and face the so-called curse. Well, good luck with that emotion thing, because this is no Otome game, so you're gonna feel them. This boring extension of my life was simply to buy more time to conduct my research. That said, when I finally uncovered the truth, what's emotion would arise in me? I mean, if you discard them all, literally nothing. Also, clean your room. The wall clock told. I first opened my eyes after falling asleep with papers in my hand.
今の記録は
That record. It was a recreation of when I used my own body to establish Reliver technology. I could hardly call it a dream. After all, I had no real attachment to the records saved inside my mind. I got up, triggering a landslide of papers that fell over several pieces of bread on the floor. Seriously? Okay, I'm coming over there and cleaning your place. God damn it, you have bread on the floor. And 2 pieces. I am disgusted. It's probably got mice running over the room.
さて、仕切り直すか。
Now then, back to work. Hold up. Did he just pick up a piece of bread from the floor that is who knows how old and shove it in his mouth? Is that what he just did? My God. All right, babe, we need to work on some things, okay? This man. I picked up a piece of bread and shoved it in my mouth before activating the system screen. I really hope it's a piece of bread from that basket, not the one from the floor you mentioned just a minute ago. On the screen were the autopsy results of whatever remained of Barreau's body after it was covered. I had already confirmed that no backup data, but...
あの体躯には不釣り合いな人間離れした身体能力。
His physical attributes and abilities were far beyond what his body could bear.
変死事件などよりよほど興味深いな。
This is much more.
俺の研究にも使えると思ったんだが。
This is much more interesting than those strange deaths. If only I could have used his body. It was taken away by the royal family, so that they could make an example of him.
せめてバックアップとの照合だけではなく、遺伝子の回収まで持っていきたかった。
He could have. I mean, technically it'd be simple enough to take a sample of its DNA. It's like, I just like like a swab of the mouth or like a fingernail, or can you use that stuff for that? No one would have noticed.
こういう時だけは連中も仕事が早い。いや、俺の運が悪いのか。
Those idiots only worked effectively at the worst possible times. Or maybe I was just out of luck.
まさか、あの豊島が庇護する小娘が引き起こした不幸の一端でもあるまいし。
That's odd. Like he said, they're working effectively. The royal family and the royal guard are not known for being effective and, like, actually doing their job in a timely manner, so... Oh, no. Does the royal family have some kind of secret? No, that's probably not. But they gotta play a part somehow. I mean, they can't just be there throughout the whole story. There's just, they just exist. Or can they? Anyway. Little Bag's orphan is so unlucky that nearly every problem is being pinned on her. I just realized he's mentioned he means us. I crossed my legs, which again triggered an avalanche. This time over my dirty lab coats. I feel like we're about to play mate again. I carefully watered the flowers in the garden, careful not to touch the lycorises. The dewdrops on the petals beautifully reflected the sunlight as the flowers did their best to reach the heavens. Among the flowers were a few that had their heads down. They were depressed. The flowers around here grow quite slowly. Maybe there isn't enough nutrition in the soil? I can probably ask Yves his opinion. I heard footsteps from outside the fence and looked up to see who it was. My eyes met those of a woman who lived in the neighborhood, passing me by chance. Normally, I would have run away before she got spooked by my presence, but... hello?
どうも。
Oh, hello. She responded quietly, to my best effort at greeting her. She actually said hello. As I watched her take off at a brisk pace, I reflected on the changes that had happened around me recently. The good changes. It seemed my involvement in chasing after Barreau had a great impact on the people of Coin. Many who had sought to exile me from the district were suddenly silenced. In addition, the hateful glares I encountered had turned into people merely moving away from me. But that's progress. I knew I should welcome the change in a positive manner, but unfortunately, I also knew that these kinds of things didn't last long.
Yesterday, 私は君の自死を止めた際、とある術を君の身にかけ。
That night, when I stopped you from committing suicide, I cast a certain spell over you.
一時的に死神としての力を抑え込むことに成功した。
I was successful in suppressing your power as death for the time being. And that's the reason nothing bad has happened.
少々運も絡むが、私の力によるところが大きい。
Though luck does play a factor, your current circumstances are largely owed to me.
しかし、この術にも限界がある。一定期間が過ぎ効果が切れれば。
But my power has its limits. Once the time comes...
君はまた、人に死を招く死神に戻ってしまうだろう。
You will return to your form as death, and bring about demise to those around you. The peace I enjoyed now was given to me by the Watchman of Death. I had since returned to the same Lycoris field every so often, but hadn't managed to encounter him again. Once the effects of his spell wore off, I would return to being the source of misfortune to the orphanage and those around me. In any case, I didn't want to become a threat to Mother, Milo, or any of the children now that things had finally started to settle. As I continued watering the plants, I wondered whether I should leave the orphanage before things went south,
セレス、水やりは終わったかしら。あなたにお使いをお願いしたいのだけど。
Cerez, are you finished with the garden? There's something I want to ask of you. Uh-huh. Yes, I'm done. I quickly put on a smile and set down the watering can before hurrying over to Mother. Do you need me to go to the marsh?
いいえ、届け物よ。
No, just a delivery.
国立研究所にいるあのろくでなしにまた手紙を届けてほしいの。
That bastard. I'd like you to deliver this letter to that bastard at the Institute. Bastard? The look of disgust on Mother's face made me realize she was referring to Scien. I was surprised to find out about your relationship with Scien. What do you usually write to him about? I asked her casually as I accepted the letter.
大した内容じゃないわ。あいつの気まぐれに応じてちょっとした近況報告をし合ってる程度よ。
Nothing special, really. We simply exchange reports on how things are going based on requests for information.
あの男、
Feel there's more to
セ
that.
ルネボルどころかめったに研究所から出てこないから。とにかく外界の情報に疎いのよ。
Hold up, I just thought of something. What if they're siblings? Is that a possibility? I'm gonna keep that thought in mind. Either that or she's assisting in some kind of like scientific research. What kind of scientific research can you do in an orphanage? Unless it's something incredibly messed up. After all, he rarely ever leaves the facility, let alone Cernaval. He's ignorant about what's happening in the outside world. Now that you mention it, he did mistake Yves for Hugo when we first met him.
新聞も取っていないみたいだし、厳密には興味がないという方が正しいかもしれないわね。
He doesn't read the newspaper, so I hardly think he takes much interest in current events at all. Mother let out a deep sigh, when suddenly from behind her...
ねえ、そのお使い、私も一緒に行っていい？
No? Can I go run the errand too? One of the girls at the orphanage shyly peeked out from behind Mother's long skirt.
あらあら。
Oh my. How surprising. Were you hiding behind Mother all this time?
最初からお姉ちゃんとお話ししてみたくて。
Something horrible is gonna happen to this girl, isn't it? We're gonna find her dead at some point, aren't we? There are no meetings in this game that end in happiness. From the beginning, I wanted to talk to you, sis. To me?
あなたがよく笑うようになったから一緒に遊んでほしくなったのかしら。
Perhaps she wanted to play with you now that you're smiling more often.
あなたさえよかったら 一緒に連れて行ってあげてくれない？
If you don't mind, can you take her with you? The young girl nodded. This was another change that occurred after the series of incidents. I was very happy to see the young girl muster enough courage to voice her sweet request. I bent down a bit to reach her eye level. Cernaval has a lot of cars and people, so it's easy to get lost. I need you to stay right beside me. Can you promise me that?
できる。できるから一緒に行く。
She's gonna get like kidnapped or something. This can't be good. Yep, I can. I can do it. So let's go together.
お姉ちゃんを死神っていう人がいたら私が怒ってあげるからね。
If anyone's mean to you or calls you names, I'll get mad at them. The young girl spoke cheerfully and let go of Mother's skirt to grab my hand. Thank you. But that could be dangerous, so you can just talk to me about feeling mad, okay? I wanted to protect the girl who had been frightened of me for so long. I wasn't of much use now, but wasn't there anything I could do for her? We walked through Cheddars to Cernaval. It was filled with various medical centers, apothecaries, there we go, and clinics. There were some smaller research facilities in the area, around which researchers' pale faces hurried about. On rare occasions, larger vehicles carrying medicines and other material for experiments also passed us. It seemed they were designed for load capacity rather than comforts, and were completely different from Mathis's car.
大きい。あれ、車でしょ？ゆか先生がくれた教科書に書いてあった。
She's cute. Wow! That huge thing's a car, right? I saw one in the book that Monsieur Prouse showed us. That's right. If it hits us, it'll hurt a lot. So we shouldn't get in its way. Okay. While holding her hands, I arrived at the institute for the first time in weeks.
はい、こちら確かに差出人の申請は通っておりますので、該当の職員までお届けしておきます。
Thank you very much. We received prior notice from the sender, so we will promptly process the delivery. Thank you very much. As usual, the guard kept the conversation simple. I haven't seen Scien since back then, so I was hoping I could at least say hi. Then again, I didn't have high expectations. Asking to deliver a letter in person to the recipients was likely prohibited. It really was a rarity to have a chance of seeing someone as important as Scien.
お姉ちゃん、見て見て、お城。あそこに王様や王子様が住んでるの？
Sis, look! The castle! Do the king and the prince really live inside? Yes. For all you know, they might even be looking at you from the window right now. The young girl exclaimed innocently, and waved her hand in the direction of the castle, located behind the institute. Just don't look up too high and lose your balance. I wasn't able to see Scien, but seeing her so happy was more than worth a...
こちらの女性をですか？ 承知いたしました。
Well, we might be meeting him. Huh? You mean her? Understood.
すみません。ただいまではなく内部の研究員から通信が入りまして。
Excuse me. I mean, one of the researchers just contacted us.
あなたに用事があるのでこの場でしばらく待機しておいてほしいとのことです。
He asked that you please stay a while longer, since he has something to discuss with you. Huh? With me? Maybe it's the Hoots. I haven't seen him in a while either. I waited for donuts as instructed. I don't know, it's the actual pronunciation. Is it Dahoots or Dahut? Or like, how is it pronounced? How is his name pronounced? Daha? No? I don't know, I'm just calling him Donuts. I waited for Donut as instructed when...
ああ、やはりお前か。その金髪は遠目にもよく目立つな。
Ah, I knew it was you. Your blonde hair stands out even from a distance. A Scien! I did want to see him, but I didn't expect he would actually leave the building in his sloth-like manner. As I looked on in a stupor,
お姉ちゃん、このおじちゃん誰？
not quite. Sis, is he your uncle? Uncle? My face immediately went pale at her innocent question. Yeah, we're probably lucky he doesn't really care about that. But Scien did seem concerned by how he was addressed.
ついてこい。
Follow me. With that, he quickly turned around and headed back inside. Could it be that he's inviting us into the institute? The guard quickly produced 2 passes and gave them to us so we could chase after him. Walking with Scien was making us stand out even more. I could tell the staff members were giving us strange looks as we followed behind him.
まったくなぜ俺がこんな手間を。
Do what? I feel like Donut talked him into something. Damn it, why do I have to do this? Scien was mumbling something as we made our way down the corridor. He didn't reprimand us for following him through the research area, and we finally arrived in front of his laboratory. I felt a tug on my sleeve.
お姉ちゃ
Sis?
ん、なんだかこのお部屋から変な匂いがする。
Because it hasn't been cleaned in probably a year. Or at least a few months. I don't know why, but this room smells weird. Huh? took a cautious sniff. She's right. I can smell something coming from inside. Scien, are you experimenting with some medicine in here?
見ればわかる。
You'll find out soon enough. It was clear from his tone that he didn't want to explain as he threw open the door. Behind the door was... It's even worse than before, oh my god. What the... A sea of decay. Just one look made me realize the source of the putrid smell. This place smells worse than last time. I wondered how long he had left the lab coats hanging over on the sofa. Given that he was a researcher, it was fortunate that chemicals weren't strewn haphazardly across the place, but... Regardless, this place was a horrid mess. It is. I love him, but God. My God.
普段は部屋が荒れても石灰なダハトが勝手に片付けるんだがな。
That busybody donuts usually keeps this room clean. As if wanting to get to the point, Scien crossed his arms.
シアンさん、ちょっといいですか？
Scien, do you have a moment?
そっちの研究員の皆さんから、シオンさんの資質がとんでもないことになってると聞いて見に来たんですけど。
That sounds about accurate. I heard from some of our researchers that your room has become a biological hazard. So I came to check it out.
言っても大したことないですよね。
It's not as bad as they say, right?
だって僕がこの間、隅から隅までお掃除してきれいにしてあげたばかりですし。
Apparently he gets dirty real fast. Messy. I mean, it was only recently that I cleaned your room from corner to corner until it was all spick and span, remember?
まさか、いくらダメ人間のシアンさんでも、数日足らずでぐっちゃぐちゃの汚いお部屋に逆戻りなんかしてませんよね。
So there's no chance to place us back to being a garbage heap in just a few days, even with someone as sloppy as you, right?
お前にとってどの程度が汚い部屋の定義に入るのか、実際に目で見てから判定を下せばいい。
I have no clue what you designate as being a garbage heap. So just take a look for yourself. Prepare yourself,
はいはい、
donuts.
それじゃあお邪魔しまー
Prepare yourself for horror, donuts. Fine, fine, coming in. It's like he walks in the room, looks at the place, turns around, walks out.
す。シアンさん、
Scien.
なんだ、確認したのならとっとと出ていけ。
What? Now that you've had a look, get the hell out of...
僕ってば、今まで献身的にシアンさんの私生活を支えてきましたけど、
You know I've been selflessly working to support your everyday wants and needs, but...
さすがに今回はちょっとカチンときちゃったんで。
He's like the mother. And Scien's like the teenage son. I have to admit, I'm a bit ticked off right now.
しばらくこのお部屋を放置することにしました。
So I decided I'm gonna leave this room as is for a while.
は？
僕のありがたさを実感するまで、せいぜい埃とパンくずにまみれた部屋で生活してください。
Saying this with
それ
a
じゃ
smile on his face. You just breathe in your dust and crumbs until you appreciate how much I do for you. So long. Literally, Donut is the parents. Donut is the parents.
想像しいやつだな。俺から掃除を強制したことなど一度としてないだろうが。
What was that about? I never once forced him to clean this place before.
といった具合でダハトが片付けを放棄してから1週間以上この部屋は放置されているわけだ。
And there you have it. The room has been in this condition for over a week now since Donut stopped cleaning. Representing Dunkin' Donuts. Which led to this less than desirable state. If Donut were here, I would hug him and praise him for all his hard work.
汚れやほこり程度俺は大して気にせんのだがな。
The place being a little cluttered or dusty doesn't bother me, but
さすがにここまでになると研究や仮眠に支障が出てきている。
it's come to a point where it's beginning to affect my work and sleep. How about cleaning the place yourself?
また汚れるのが確定しているというのに貴重な体力を使ってまで同じことを繰り返す必要が一体どこにある？
Because it makes you feel better when it's clean. Like for real. When you clean a room, you may not realize it, but once you finish cleaning it, you feel a little bit better. At least I find that to be true. What purpose is there in using precious mental and physical energy to clean a room when you will only get dirty again? You have a point, but you're saying its current state is affecting your work and your life?
それを解決するために偶然窓から見かけたお前をここまで連れてきたんだろう。
Which is why I brought you here to remedy the situation after seeing you from the window. Which meant
自分が汚したのにお姉ちゃんにお部屋のお掃除しろってこと？
a child. But yes, that is what he's saying. Are you telling sis to clean up your room even though you're the one who made it dirty?
ああ、クルーンに依頼してもよかったが、家事に関してはお前の方が長けているのだったと。あの共同生活でのことを思い出してな。
Yeah. I would have asked Karun, but I recall how you were better at taking care of the daily chores when we lived together. Scien responded matter-of-factly, not taking any offense at the innocent girl's question. It was true that I was good at cleaning and enjoyed the process. I appreciate that, but I don't think it's a good idea for a commoner like myself to be cleaning your room, Scien. perhaps it's better to have your custodians or some other staff here to clean your room instead?
いつ俺の命を狙うとも知らん輩を寝食をする部屋に招くぐらいなら
I mean, I get where he's coming from. I get where he's coming from. I refuse to invite anyone who might kill me in the place where I eat and sleep.
素人だと確定しているお前のような小娘を招いた方がはるかにマシだ。
However, a little girl possesses no threats and can do the job adequately. Huh? Someone's after your life?
とにかく2時間以内にこの部屋を片付けてみせろ。これは俺からの命令だ。
You're giving me a time limit? Never mind that. I went through
My God! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm! Everybody stay
何
calm!
も
What's the
清潔にしろ
procedure?
とは言わん。以前訪れた際の状態、
Hello, Choco.
割と汚い程度に
Yeah,
戻せば
so
旧
getting
大点だ。
Scien's roots. I put up a poll, and Scien was chosen. We're cleaning his room. Like, Scien is literally a teenage boy. Like, Donuts is the one that cleans his room. And Donuts, I guess, cleaned his room about, like, a few days ago, and it already became a mess, and he had enough, so he's like, clean your own room. And walked out the door. Literally like a parent. And now Scien has saw us out the window and is hiring us to clean his room in 2 hours. True, yeah, not wanting to clean your room. I don't mean I want it objectively clean. I just return it to the state of relatively messy that you saw it before. No. That's actually a lot harder to do than just cleaning. At that, Scien tried to exit the room as though needing to return to work. At least tell me what I shouldn't touch, like paperwork or anything valuable?
システムには厳重なロックがかけてある。散らばっている紙媒体も他の奴らに共有済みの資料だけだ。
Anything important is secured by the system. The only papers scattered around have already been shared with the relevant parties. It scared ya?
故に見られて困るものはない。
Yeah. Oh, you missed it. We did Mathis's other despair ends earlier before this. That was interesting. Fuck you, Gene. I won't spoil anything, but freaking Camille. There's nothing here that can't be seen.
監視システムと警備兵を出し抜ける自信があるのなら、外部に持ち出しても構わんがな。
If you're confident you can sneak anything past our surveillance system and security guards, be my guest. I would never do such a thing.
そうか。
We're gonna do such a thing.
ではおとなしく清掃に勤しめ。
I see. Then hurry up and clean. And with that, Scien yawned and left the room. I guess there's no choice. I thought thought this room was filled with sensitive information, but
いいと思う。私もお姉ちゃんのお掃除のお手伝いするね。
don't break anything. Sounds fun. I'm gonna help with the cleaning too. Thank you. If you don't mind, could you help me sweep up the bits from the floor? You know, like the 2 pieces of bread on the floor? Which I swear he actually picked one up from the floor and ate it. Otherwise, why mention the piece of bread on the floor? And then immediately afterward, mention him eating a piece of bread. I retrieved the cleaning tools that were in the corner of the room, no doubt prepared by Donuts. He did say it was an order, so we'll just have to try our best. Armed with the necessary equipment, I valiantly took in offensive areas and strange smells. My first thought was fear that I might break something valuable over the course of tidying up, but wow. This room is going to be a real challenge. It was rare to come across a room as dirty as this. When I first laid eyes on it, it gave me the urge to clean, and now I was finally able to do so. I began picking up the lab coats from a pile nearby so I could get them out of the way. What are these? That is a puzzle of Lycoris's. Strange looking pieces fell to the floor. Some were solid colors, while others were multicolored with unusual patterns.
お姉ちゃん、その小さいのなら私がいるところにもいっぱい落ちてるよ。
He started a puzzle and he got bored. Threw it on the floor. Continued doing something else. Sis, there's a lot of small colored things everywhere. Really? At first glance, they looked like broken scraps to be thrown out, but they're strangely thick and seem to have been made for some purpose. This is Scien's room, so I guess they're important. We should keep them all to one side. They're really pretty, so if you find more, don't throw them away. Let's see. Can you put them in the empty basket here? They're a little dusty, so we can wipe them down later if we have time.
わかった。
Okay. Alright, that looks much better. 2 hours later. You can actually see the floor. Oh my god. I held my breath as he stood beside me.
まあ、旧大点か。
A pass, I suppose. Thank you very much. I regretted not having the time to clean every corner of the room. But we didn't break anything, so I'm glad we finished without any problems. I breathed a sigh of relief.
ねえ、おじちゃん、私も。
Hey, how about me, Uncle?
ん？
私もお姉ちゃんと一緒にお掃除した。 私のこともちゃんと褒めて。
I helped sis clean the room too. I want to hear you say I did a good job.
評価ならたった今まとめて告げただろうが。
The evaluation I gave you was for the entirety of the work. She looked up at Scien, and with innocent eyes,
評価
the valley.
よくわかんない。
What? I don't know what that means.
お手伝いしたんだから、ママみたいに頭なでなで
Scien,
してよ。
just do it. Just do it, Scien. I helped clean up, so I want you to pat me on the head, just like mother.
豊島の真似など誰がするか。
Why would you do anything that old witch does? And you know, I think my earlier theory might be on. Looking at the facial features and hair. Cian's rude words brought tears to her eyes.
おじちゃん意地悪。
Yeah, he can be kind of an asshole. He's such a meanie. She swung her arms around and stomped the floor. And now, it'll be all right. When we go back, I'm sure Mother will give you all the pats you... I tried my best to calm her down, reaching out to hold her when... Before I could react, her flailing arm struck an expensive-looking bracelet off the shelf and... Ah! Oops. The bracelet fell, breaking into pieces with the jewels scattering across the floor. I went pale, seeing Scien silently looking at the floor. I'm so sorry. It's my fault, so... I'll pay whatever damages are due.
ブローを前にしたような顔をするな。お前は俺を何だと思っている？
I don't know, maybe one of the most famous people in the island? High ranking? I think our fear is valid. Don't look at me like I'm Barreau or something. Who do you think I am?
こんなケバケバしいだけの腕飾りが壊れたところで誰が口やかましく言うものか。
Like I would complain about some random gaudy bracelet being broken. But it looked really expensive.
これは定期会合の際、王家の連中が俺のご機嫌取りのため強引に押し付けてきたものだ。
Oh, well then, okay, don't worry about it. It was a piece that was shoved onto me by the royal family in one of our meetings, for the purpose of getting on my good side.
俺自身にこんな悪趣味な調度品を集める趣味はない。
I myself have no interest in collecting such tasteless trinkets. Scien firmly told me that there was no need for me to pay any damages. He actually stepped on what remained of the bracelets, as if it were simply an object in his way. I see. I'm surprised they couldn't tell you weren't interested in something like that, Scien.
それだけ息汚い連中ということだ。
Shows how shallow those idiots are.
今までは国民と同じくリライバー技術を理由に体力が衰えたからと些細な理由で肉体を使い捨てにしてきたというのに。
Similar to the masses, they continue to replace their bodies when they feel tired or sick, abusing my reliver technology.
変死事件とブローの事件を受け、 いつバックアップを受けぬままに死亡するか、今更ながらに危機感を抱いたようでな。
But with what happened with Barreau, those fools finally realized the danger of dying without having a proper backup.
バックアップの頻度を増やせと、ずうずうしくも命令してきた。
So they brazenly ordered me to increase the frequency of backups. Their reaction made sense to me. I can understand the royal family's urgency. Barreau died. But if the other deaths were caused by some disease, then there's no way to prevent its spread.
限度というものがある。自己保身しか頭にない単細胞どもに付き合いきれるか。
There's limits to what can be done. I don't have time to spend with idiots who are only worried about their own well-being. He seemed completely fed up with working with them, and I could only smile. By the way, are you sure it's okay to be sharing this with me? I had my hands cupped over my companion's ears the moment I heard him say the word whirl.
本来は許されん。だが俺が許す。
Of course not. Though I will allow it this time.
なんならクーネに話を広げて王族どもへの指示を奈落にまで落としてくれてもいいぞ。
If you want, you can go ahead and share what I said to the people of Coing so their support for the royal family plummets. I bet you'd love
た
that.
だし自己責任でな。不敬罪で捕まっても俺は一切かばわん。
But the consequences are on you. I won't defend you if you're arrested for treason. That's a bold thing to say. I thought we had gotten closer after living together for a brief period, but Scien was known as a genius, and it wasn't surprising that he was a bit eccentric. The more I talked to him, the more I got a sense that he wasn't easy to understand. Later, he tossed me a pouch full of money, which I believed was a reward. Upon my catching the pouch, he promptly got his staff to come throw us out of the institute. He has such charm. I didn't have a chance to speak to him properly. Next to me, the young girl tugged hard on my skirts.
私あのおじちゃん嫌い。
I don't like that, uncle.
お姉ちゃん一生懸命お掃除したのにちゃんとありがとうって言わなかった。とっても意地悪。
He worked so hard to make the room clean, but he didn't even say thanks to you. He's such a meanie. Yes, saying thank you is very important. But he didn't get mad at us when we broke his bracelet, right? Even if we didn't mean to break it, I think we're even, don't you? Why don't we let it go for now? I did my best to comfort her while wondering if I should tell her that the uncle was the famous founder of Reliver Technology. I'd say don't. I continued to think about it as we made our way back.
Hmm? これはあの小娘わざわざすべて拾ったのか。
Naturally. What? She actually picked them all up?
何かに使えるとは思っていたが。
I figured she was useful, but... I'm confused. Do people usually not pick up puzzle pieces that are just lying there on the floor?
マムからお前の帰りが遅いと聞いて心配して来てみれば。
Mother told me you were late. I came over because I was worried.
あの男、本当に自分勝手なんだから。
The bastard really is good for nothing. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm almost 100% sure. The eyes, the hair, tattoo. Scien and Salome are totally brother and sister. I'm calling it. After dinner, when the children were all sound asleep, I had some tea with Mother and Adolf, who was here to spend the night. Are you looking good? Honestly, they both looking good. I reported on my reunion with Scien and the unexpected work I did at the Institute.
あの男も大概だが、お前も言われるがままに従ってどうする？
The guy's a piece of work. But the fact that you listen to him is another problem. I'm sorry. But even if he didn't order me, I probably would have cleaned his room since it was dirty enough to cause health issues.
体調を崩したところで、奴なら体を取り替えればいいとでも言うだろう。
He totally would. He literally killed himself at the beginning of the route, so switch bodies. Even if he got sick, he probably just changed into a new body. He did have a point. Since Scien mentioned before that the body was just a vessel to house a brain and a heart. I guess Scien is important enough to make as many backups as he wants.
そうね。王族などよりもよほど高いと思うわよ。
Indeed. Far more often than the royal family, I'm sure. Mother seemed to speak coldly every time it was about Scien.
彼は記憶と人格を保持したクローン体という新たな生命を数ヶ月で生み出した。
He managed to find a way to download memories and personalities in the clones.
この国の救済者にして比類のない天才だもの。
He's this country's savior and a genius like no other.
彼がリライバー技術を生み出さなければ、呪いによる人口の削減に出生率が追いつかず、
Without the Reliver technology, the curse would have decimated the population.
今頃この国は完全に滅んでいるか、人口が半分、いえ、半分以下になっていたでしょうね。
The country would have been completely destroyed by now. Or at the very least, have only half the population it does now.
本音はともかくとして、王族どもが媚びへつらうのも道理だな。
Whatever their intentions, I can see why the royal family would try to suck up to him. I'm still surprised I was able to clean his room.
災難にあったと思って忘れろ。
Just forget about that disaster.
そうよ。ことあの男に関しては、頭脳の出来以外に信頼は受けないんだから。
He's right. Apart from his intellect, there's nothing to trust about him.
シアン。
But
それ
he's
から、
attractive.
時々研究所に視察に来る王族には、絶対に関わり合いにならないように注意してちょうだい。
And what if I wanna? My only advice to you is to never get involved with Scien or the royal family when they visit the Institute. Okay. I don't think Scien is really as bad as they say. he forgave us for breaking those bracelets, and he even paid me for cleaning his room. If he really was as bad as the others said, he would have acted as if my services were free and not paid me anything. But I didn't know exactly what he was thinking, so I couldn't refute their opinion of him. Still, he's the savior of the country who saved many lives from the curse of death. The way I saw him, he was the opposite of me, since I only caused death and misfortune. Regardless of his personality, he was someone I thought was worthy of respect. I'll agree with that. As far as my many chances of interacting with him, Donna's come to pick us up to clean his room again. But I feel like I'm right. As I was getting ready for the day in my room, I heard an unusual sound outside. Wondering who it could be, Mother, Adolf, and I hurried out to discover.
死神の小娘。
Maiden of Death. I've come to pick you up. My room's dirty again.
今日からお前は俺の駒使いだ。
Close enough. Pretty much the same thing. You're my maid, starting today. I feel deja vu. This happened before already, didn't it? See what I told you? We're a maid. We were a maid before. We're a maid now. We're gonna be a maid in Luca's route too. What? I responded a few seconds after them. Before I could react, Scien walked from his large electronic car toward me and grabbed my wrist as though to keep me from running. Huh? I can see him just pick us up and like literally haul us over his shoulder, just walk back to his car, throw us in the back seat, get in the driver's seat, step on the gas pedal. That's totally a Scien thing to do. Confused, I kept looking back and forth between Scien's face and my wrist.
では行くか。賃金の額面は俺の研究室で提示してやる。
Let's get going. I'll tell you how much you'll make back at the Institute. With that, Scien tugged on my arm to pull me into the back seat when...
今すぐその手を離せ。
Let her go now. Adolf intervened, placing his hand on the hilt of the sword.
何のつもりだ。
What is the meaning of this?
それはこっちのセリフだ。何の説明もなしに人の妹を連れ去ろうとしやがって。
I should say the same thing. How dare you try to abduct my foster sister in broad daylight?
その男が口うるさく過保護なのはお前が育てた影響か、豊島。
Others is protected of her because you raised him, you old hag.
割のいい仕事を紹介しに来ただけでよくもまあわめくことができる。
I came all the way out here with a lucrative job offer, and this is how I'm treated.
仕事？
I mean, he did say he's gonna pay me, so... over top to bottom.
昨日、俺はお前に研究室の掃除を任せたな。
You do remember that I let you clean my room yesterday, right? Yes? Oh, wait. Did I do something wrong back then?
いや、むしろ逆だ。
On the contrary. I'm so confused. The only thing we did that caught his attention was pick up a few puzzle pieces. How is that so important? Seeing me tilt my head in confusion.
俺はお前の掃除の手際をそれなりに気に入った。
I'm actually quite pleased with how well you cleaned it.
よってダハトの機嫌が治るまで俺の衣食住を整える専属の駒使いとして雇いたい。
Which is why I want to hire you as my personal maid to handle the daily chores until Donut's little tantrum ends.
どうだ、施設の職員なんぞより給与は弾むぞ。
So how about it? I'll pay you more than I pay some of the staff at the institute. Scien confidently gave me his job offer. I mean, that's good money. Do it. That's
何を言うかと思えば、そんなしょうもない理由で。
that's the ridiculous reason for all this? I don't look weary upon hearing Scene's unexpected explanation. So you're saying you want me to do the same work as before? Let's make a save file. The first option. To either ask Adolf's opinion or Mother's opinion. Well, obviously Mother's gonna say no. Adolf would probably be hesitant, but he'd probably say yes, so I'm gonna go with Adolf. Are you against it? I don't even know if I'm saying this name right.
当たり前だろ。死体を物同然に扱うようなやつにお前のことを預けられるか。
I mean, point of view understood. But I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm simple. Of course I am. There's no way I want you to work for someone who views bodies as objects.
だいたいあんた最古のリライバーでいい年齢なんだろ。自分の面倒ぐらい自分で見たらどうだ。
Not to mention you're the oldest reliver in existence, so you're old enough to take care of yourself.
それが無理ならイブたちクルーンへの依頼で。
If that's not possible, just ask for help from Yves and Hugo at Skorun.
あの劇物の惨劇を忘れたとは言わせんぞ。
No, we have not. Don't tell me you've forgotten his poison. I love Yves, but Yves, don't cook. Even with a backup, I guess you don't want to risk your life anymore. It seemed Scien was adamant about taking me back to his place. Out of context.
これでもなお断るというのなら、
If you still refuse.
娘、昨日お前の連れが壊した腕飾り、
I suppose we need to reconsider the broken bracelets.
あれを全額この場で弁償してもらおうか。
Are you prepared to pay the full amount now? Uh-huh. Out of his pocket came a single invoice I had never seen before. We all gasped when we saw the figure listed, which was more than enough for someone in Cohen to live a life of luxury for a few years. Pay? But you said yesterday that it was fine.
そんなこと言った覚えはないな。書面での契約や音声データでの証拠でも残っているのなら話は別だが。
I have a witness. Child, come out here. Actually, no, never mind. We don't have a witness because we were covering her ears because it involved a royal family. So never mind. I don't recall saying that. Unless you have proof such as a voice recording or a written contract.
俺にとってははした金。だがお前たちクーネの住人にとっては数年かけても払いきれん金額だろう。
This amount is petty change to me. But for people who live in Coing, I doubt you could pay it off even if you saved for years.
お前が俺の元で働くというのなら、ある程度減額してやってもいいぞ。
But if you work for me, then I can reduce this amount to something more palatable.
あなたね。
Why you? Mother's face turned red with anger. She pulled her arm back as she approached Scien when...
落ち着けマム。さすがに手を出すのはまずい。
Calm down, Mother. You don't want to do that.
話しなさい、アドルフ。この男は一度ぐらい痛い目に遭わないとわからないのよ。
Let me go, Adolf. This bastard needs to know what pain is once in a while. Adolf somehow grabbed her from behind before she could give him a good slap. 100%. Mother,
私は絶対に許さないわよ。
I will not let you work for him.
あなたのような男や腐りきった王族が出入りする場所に私の大事な娘を預けるものですか。
I cannot let my precious daughter work in a place where men like you and the corrupt royal family sulk around.
ではお前が働きに来るか？
Then why don't you work in her place?
できんだろう。お前はこの国で最もあの場所を意味嫌っているからな。
I bet you can't. After all, you hate it there more than anyone else in the country. I think I'm on spot. She's his sister. She ran away because she hated the palace, or their, you know, the kind of life they lived. Their society status, whatever. So she ran away, became a sister, and took charge of the orphanage. And is occasionally sending letters to her brother. Alright, I solved it.
手紙もこの娘に代わりに届けさせていたことといい。
We've been sending her in your place just
身代わりになる覚悟もなしに保護者を名乗るとは聞いてあげれる。
It's appalling to hear you call her guardian when you won't even do that much. Silence filled the air. Adolf's sad mother held back as I stood silently next to Scien. We weren't entirely sure what they were talking about, so we looked at each other to see if we could defuse the situation. Adolf? Knowing donuts, I doubt her stay away for long, so
仕方ねえな。
it can't be helped. We both nodded at the same time.
セレス、それにアドルフまでどういうつもり？この子のことが心配ではないの？
Not too much.
心配に決まってるだろ。だがあんたがあまりにも怒るものだから、見ているうちに冷静になってきた。
Of course I am. But you're angry enough for all three of us, so I ended up calming down. It's true that it was my fault Cian's property got broken. So it's only fair they work off the expense since I don't have much money.
そういうことだ。腹の立つ物言いだが、筋違いなことを言われてるわけでもねえ。
He's not exactly smooth. There you have it. What he said isn't unreasonable, though he could have worded it better.
だからマム、少し落ち着け。
So mother, please try to relax.
過去に何があったのかは知らないが、あんたはどうもこの男が関わると人が変わったようになる嫌いがあるぞ。
I don't know what happened between you two, but you seem to change whenever he's involved.
その通りだ。かぶるならもっと賢く猫をかぶれ。
He's right. If you want to act tough, do it better.
話がややこしくなるから、
Just
あん
shut
たは
up.
黙ってろ。
Don't talk. See and don't talk. Just stand there, look pretty, and we'll leave in a bit. Okay. Okay. Good. You're not helping, so just shut up. Mother? Seeing that Mother remained silent, I spoke to her carefully. He's only asking me to do his daily chores and nothing more. I don't plan on getting involved in Cian's work, nor do I think I'll ever see anyone from the royal family. In addition,
司祭は語れないが、この国にはまだまだ死を招く花の種子が芽吹いている。
I can't go into detail, but there is still a seed of a budding flower that would bring more death to this island.
この短い間に君が歩んだ奇跡は、所詮序章に過ぎないのさ。
The little you experienced thus far is merely the prologue.
自ら命を絶つ異様な死も、理不尽によって奪われる死も。
The mysterious deaths by suicide, the ruthless murders by force.
この国の呪いに蝕まれ、儚く散っていく死
The
も。
slow encroaching death by this land's curse.
あるいは、まだ日向にすら出ていないさまざまな死
And
も
other。deaths that have yet to be discovered.
何一つ解決していない。
Not one of them has been resolved. I hadn't seen him since. But if what he told me back then was true, there was a chance that something besides the curse would cause even more deaths. In particular, the suicide-like deaths had a chance of reoccurring, and the royal family was well aware of it. Which is why they would probably contact Scien the moment they learned something from the bodies they took away from him. In that sense, it might be for the best that I work close to him in this case, in case something happened. Of course. I'm all right working for you, as long as the rumors about me don't worry you.
なんだ、まだその話を蒸し返すのか？
What? We have to go through this again?
何度も繰り返すが、死神の迷信など俺は信じていない。
I've said this before, but I don't believe some rumors about a human death.
本物だというのなら、噂通りこの場で火災や天変地異の一つや二つ起こしてみせろ。
If you're so powerful, let me see you cause some death and destruction right now.
もっと首相な態度が取れないのか、あんたは。
Can't you word yourself any better? Soon after, Scien said he was busy doing other things and headed back to the institutes. With the discussion over, I asked Adolf to come to my room in private. I knew he wouldn't believe me right away, but I did my best to explain Anko to him. I let him know my other motives for working for Scien. Adolf and the corpse were also investigating the weird deaths and Barreau's identity. He also opened an investigation on the shadowy figure that killed Barreau back then. So I suggested that if I could work at the Institute, it should be easier for us to share information. True. Although I don't know how much information we'll get. With that decided, Adolf and I spent a few hours trying to convince Mother. She finally gave in on the condition that Adolf periodically check in on me at the institutes. And so, we finally got the approval I needed from my foster mother to begin my work. Did we get a costume?
考え直したまえ、姫君。
Please reconsider, dear princess.
あの男をパートナーにすることだけは絶対に許さない。
I cannot allow you to work for that man as your partner. The moment I arrived at the Lycoris field, the watchman at death, the very reason I decided to accept the job offer, immediately tried to stop me the moment we met. My expression turned to one of confusion when I heard Anko's urgent plea. But Anko, Scien wants to hire me as his maid to handle his daily chores. The main purpose of my accepting his offer was for the chance to learn more information about the mysterious deaths. I don't intend on involving Scien in this.
それでもダメだ。
Even so, I must ask you to stop.
君の死神としての能力が本物だと奴に知られでもしたら、一体どのような目に遭わされるか。
I will agree, that is worrying, because Scien's whole thing is like, as we saw in the beginning, it's trying to overcome death. So naturally, if he found out we bore death or had powers of death, he would want to experiment on us. Find out how the powers worked, how we ticked, whatever. It probably wouldn't be pretty. But yes, Anko does make a very good point. But Scien's just an eccentric researcher. He doesn't seem to be that bad. He even said himself that he doesn't believe in rumors and superstitions.
君は
Unbelievable. That single word brought a sudden change to Uncle's usually calm face.
あの男の本性を何も知らないからそんなことが言えるんだ。
You can only say that because you don't know who he really is.
かつて奴のせいで一体どれほどのが生まれたと。
Unbeknownst counts to you, many have to his past actions. I saw intense hatred in his eyes. I see it. Uncle? Uncle snapped out of his fury when he heard me speak his name.
すまない。私としたことが少々取り乱してしまった。
Okay, so there's history there between them. Something happened in the past. And I need some water. We'll go a little bit longer, then we'll stop. Forgive me. I lost control of my emotions.
だが、私がここまで訴えるほど、シアン・ブロフィワーズは危険な男なのだよ。
Still, Scien Brofies is dangerous enough for me to plead that you can change your mind. That you change your mind. Dangerous? The person who led the country to salvation?
救いにもさまざまな形や意味があるということだ。
The word salvation possesses many meanings. But right now, working under Scien is about the only means I have to uncover the truth behind the deaths. If I stop now, won't it make things difficult for you, Uncle?
それはそうなのだが。
I cannot deny that, but after a moment of silent thoughts, Uncle's expression transformed into one of disgust.
どうしてもあの男と関わるというのなら、一つ君に守ってほしい条件がある。
If you must associate with that man, there is one condition which you must abide.
私の術によって封じ込めている君の死神としての力。
Concerning your power as death that I am currently suppressing with my own.
呪いの進行を早める能力のことだけは絶対に奴へ知られないように警戒してほしい。
Well, I didn't even know I had that ability. You must not let him know that you have the ability to accelerate the curse's progress.
知られたが最後、奴は君をとみなして害するだろう。
The moment he finds out, he will see you as a and harm you. My power as death. Oh, that's it. Okay. The dreadful curse that had maimed and killed so many of my loved ones.
幸いにして他の大行な噂と入り混じり、外界に疎い彼はこの件について詳細を把握していないようだ。
Fortunately, he's so out of touch with the world that even the truth to him is indistinguishable from petty gossip.
だが、万が一にも知られる時が来れば。
But if he happens to learn the truth, Uncle slipped his hand into his pockets and pulled out something hidden in his clothes.
君に害が及ぶ前に、何百何千何万体の控えの肉体を用意していようと。
Before he can harm you, and no matter how many bodies he has prepared to revive himself,
私はあの男を殺し尽くしてみせる。
I will continue killing him until the end of time. Keyword, continue. It became clear to me in that moment. More than on the nights he told me to uncover the truth behind the deaths, I saw in his eyes a clear and pure malice directed at Scien. But why?
死の番人として人間の情妙をねじ曲げる存在を快く思わないのは当然のこと。
As the Watchman of Death, it is obvious that I cannot accept an existence that twists the fate given to human lives.
君が奴に深入りしなければ、私のこの警戒も杞憂に終わるのだがね。
Of course, if you do not go near him, there's no need to concern yourself any further. Anko calmly stated in a way that hid his emotions.
では、今宵の仰せはここまで。
Now then, I believe our time tonight is up.
願わくば、あの男の力を借りることなく、君が試練に打ち勝つことを
I pray that you will face and overcome the challenges without the help of that man. And with that, he blended into the flowers and disappeared in a puff of white smoke. Anko isn't human, yet he sees Scien as a real threat, and says I don't know who he really is. Scien Brofeis, the savior, who triumphed over the curse of death, seen with malice by the Watchman of Death, an existence like that of a god. I couldn't imagine who he truly was with all the different views people had of him. A few days later, the entrance pass from the Institute had arrived, so
来たか。初日から遅刻するようなら即刻解雇していたところだ。
finally here? I was going to fire you if you were late on your first day of work. Good morning, Scien. I'll do my best working for you until I pay off what is due. I look forward to...
今さら挨拶などいらん。業務内容を説明するからついてくれ。
He says, just get in my room and clean. Cut the formalities. I give you instructions along the way. Okay. I quickly followed up the Scien's long stride down the corridor.
今後この研究所を出入りするにあたり、一つだけ警告しておいてやる。
There is one thing I need to warn you about entering and leaving the institute.
ダハト以外の研究員に声をかけられたとしても、一切応じるな。徹底して無視しろ。
Do not respond to anyone who approaches you, apart from donuts. Simply ignore them. May I ask why? I was an outsider to those who working here. But it'd be rude not to exchange pleasantries.
権力が集中する場所には、自然と陰謀と悪意が渦巻くもの。といえば、理解できるか？
Wherever there is a concentration of power, you will find unnecessary intrigue and malice. Is that clear enough? The researchers passing by Scien glared at him coldly.
権力争いの餌食になりたくなければ、せいぜい忠告に従うんだな。
If you don't want to get involved in politics, abide by that simple rule.
仮にお前を人質に取られても、俺は何もしな
If
い。
you're taken hostage, I won't do anything for you, understood? Okay. Well, that's comforting. He managed to convince me, and I nodded.
Ara, 何十年と生き死にを繰り返してもデリカシーのなさは変わらないのね、この最古の若作りじじいは。
Oh my, how many decades of living and dying has done nothing to improve that repellent personality of yours, you ancient bastard?
横暴な振る舞いで王族や研究員にも疎まれていると聞いているし、そろそろ第一線から退いたらどうかしら。
I heard the royal family can barely tolerate your wretched presence these days. Perhaps you can do them all a favor by retiring. Now that I think about it, Mother must have known how it was here, which is why she didn't want me to work. A few minutes later, as if I had stepped back in time, I saw that its room was yet again littered beyond belief. It's like it's been a week! I stared at Scien incredulously. Here we go.
お前が去った1時間後にはなぜかこのありさまへ戻っていた。
An hour? Excuse me, it only stayed clean for an hour? What were you doing? For some reason, the room returned to the state after you left. An hour. I suppose this is a talent of sorts. Scien nodded calmly. Then can I get started right away?
ああ、部屋の隅にある空のカゴや紙袋は好きに使え。ただし、
Yeah. Feel free to use any empty baskets or paper bags you find lying around. With that said,
余計なことはするな。お前は最低限、俺が研究するための住環境を保証すればいい。
don't do anything unnecessary. You need only do the bare minimum that would allow me to conduct my research.
いらん世話を焼こうとすれば、どんな理由があろうと、即座に叩き出す。
I will kick you out the moment I see you doing any more, regardless of reason. Having made his threats, Scien left the room. Bare minimum? What does bare minimum mean to him? Unfortunately, there was no one around to answer my question. I made a mental note to ask Scien later where I could wash his clothes. For now, I picked up the crumpled wads of paper from the floor and expanded the area of my cleaning from before. My broom raised a pile of books on the floor. I tucked my hair behind my ear as I knelt down to see if they were dusty. Come to think of it, these books have been in the same spot since yesterday. It isn't just a few books, but a tall stack. I feel like they've been used recently, so I'm gonna leave them alone. I don't know if that was good or bad. I reached out to the books, but stopped before actually touching them. Come to think of it, I sometimes stack books together that I'm planning to read. I guess it's not a good idea to touch them without asking first. For all I knew, this might be Scien's way of keeping things in order. I continued cleaning the room, avoiding things that looked important. I thought the place looked a lot cleaner than before. At least I hoped. It's hard to see progress since I'm avoiding anything that looks important. Making matters worse is that I found more strange pieces in the corner again. What in the world are these fragments of? Scien suddenly appeared in the room, and before I could ask him any questions,
ご苦労だった。今日はもう帰れ。
good work. You can go now.
ん？なんだ。ここで漁りたい情報でもあるのか？
What? Is there something you want from this room? Not at all, but you did hire me as your maid, so I expected you to do more cleaning.
今のところはない。あればその都度指示を飛ばす。
I don't have anything I want you to do now. I'll give you orders when necessary. I see. This was a lot simpler than I thought. Suddenly I remembered my question. Oh, that's right. Scien, about the dirty clothes here. Where can I wash them? If there's no place to wash them here, I can take them back with me if I have to have them cleaned.
薬品が染みついた白衣だけはこちらで処理する。それ以外は好きにしろ。
I'll have the lab coats taken care of since they're saturated with chemicals. You can do what you want with others. Understood. I guess conventional washing can't take care of everything. Alright, I think I'll make a save spot. There we go. And I think we're gonna stop here. I'm getting tired. Alright, on chapter 1 still. So, that's gonna be it for tonight. We've already been gone doing this for 4 hours, so I think this is a good time. Anyway, so we finished Mathis's Despair Roots 2. That was interesting, fun, unexpected. And we started Scien's Roots. So, next time we'll be continuing Scien's Roots. And, yeah. Anyway, I'm off tomorrow, but Saturday I do have the anime nights, and then Sunday I think I'm doing a horror game. But that is the rest of the schedule for the week. Thank you for everyone who joined, and those who gave me a follow and came to hang out. And we'll see more Scien later. Boy needs to learn to clean his room. Like, seriously, babe. But yes, I hope everyone had fun. And I hope people come back to hang out again. Well, I'm gonna go to sleep. So I'll see you all again. Have a good night, evening, afternoon, or morning. And I hope to see you all again later. Right. Bye-bye.